Our major attention is going to be on the state of the nation. Amanda spoken so boldly and being audacious in the face of the military rule, and being in the National Assembly. Senator Shehu Sani will be speaking with us on the program. It's live for us tonight. Senator, thanks so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Just pardon me, and let me go to Rivers State, because I have the chief magistrate who said he's resigned from the Rivers State government following the declaration of a state of emergency. The chief magistrate cited his discomfort with the what he called quote quasi-military rule in the state as a reason for his departure. Chief Magistrate Ejike King George wrote from his desk at the Rivers State High Court complex on Nnamdi Azikiwe Road in Port Harcourt on the 11th of April 2025 to the Chief Judge of the Rivers State Judiciary. The letter sent through the Secretary of the Rivers State Judicial Service Commission was titled, quote, voluntary retirement from service. The Rivers State Judicial Service has since responded to him and faulted his statement and the letter about what he said is his voluntary retirement or leaving service because of the state of emergency rule, and said that, in fact, the protest over the declaration of state of emergency in the state is not the fact. The JSC says that, contrary to his claim, George was compulsorily retired as a punitive measure because of absence, continuous absence from duty. King George, former magistrate, chief magistrate in Riverside, is live for us in Port Harcourt to speak on this matter. Perhaps the first time we'll be hearing from him since he released that letter. Thank you so much for joining us, Chief Magistrate George.
It's my pleasure, Sean. God bless you.
You spent about 20 years as a lawyer, and you've gone into the bench and becoming a magistrate in Rivers State for about 15 or so years. But you have decided to resign from the letter that you sent. Can you give us, let's hear from your own mouth, why you resign? What is the truth about your exit from service?
Okay, first of all, let me thank you again for providing me this opportunity, Sean. Now, as clearly stated in my letter, my reason for resigning from the service of the Rivers State Judiciary is simply because I cannot adapt to the military style of adjudication that will be introduced by reason of the sole administrator being our governor today, whatever it's called. Now, as a chief magistrate, or as a magistrate, our courts are courts of summary jurisdiction. Our proceedings are not guided by the Constitution of this country. Now, that being the case, it means that I will take directives from my employer, which is the Chief Judge of Rivers State. That's what I will take directives from. Now, he, in turn, I'm sure, takes some level of directives from the governor. That should have been the elected governor who would have acted as the chief security officer of the state. The governor of the state, I'm sure, is usually the chief security officer of that state. Now, there's this meeting the governors hold with the chief judge and the commissioner of police and all what's not. I think every month or so it's called security meeting or security brief. When those meetings are concluded, most of the proceedings from that meeting are forwarded to us at the judiciary level to implement in a manner as to quell criminal issues and all that within Rivers State. So that being the case, I am simply saying that I cannot take instruction from a military administrator. I cannot. In the entire 16 years I've served with the Rivers State Judiciary, I've taken instructions from civilian administrators. I do not know how I'm going to adapt. So now I begin to take instructions from a military administrator. I find it very strange. I have not been trained before. The judiciary did not take us for any previous training on how to work with military administrators. We have not undergone any training to that effect. So until that is done, I don't know how even my colleagues are going to cope. So for me, unfortunately, I'm not the type that would want to, keep my mouth shut. So I decided that it's better for me to throw in my towel. and go home and look for something else to do, even if it's a farm or something, because that will be more honorable for me. That's the truth. There's no other reason.
Section 4, subsection 6 of the Nigerian Constitution provides for the creation of a magistrate. In some quarters, they're called court of inferior jurisdiction. And there are provisions as to the operation, because the Constitution then gives power to the state to compose what has become a structure for that arm of the judiciary. I mean, so there is a structure, and it takes its power from the Constitution. But then the question here is, and I like Nigerians to be able to get it straight. This is a protest against the establishment in the state as of now. You are saying that as a magistrate, you cannot bow or take instruction from the sole administrator or an administrator as imposed or as directed by the president, who is also empowered by the Constitution. So this is a protest from you, right? An activism.
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, so it's not activism. What's the Constitution allows the magistrates court is mentioned in the Constitution just on the basis of creation of magistrates courts, not the operation of magistrates courts. The creation of magistrates court is what's contained in the Constitution, not our operations, not our daily operations. Now, I am not also saying that I'm not against the president. The president has powers to appoint military administrators or sole administrators or whatever to take charge of any state where there appears to be some crisis. But then the question is, was there really any crisis in River State? Because I'm in a better position to even tell you if there was crisis. If on a daily basis we go to court, all we treat are criminal cases. So if we have a crisis in River State, I should be on the front line of those that are aware of it. I was not aware of any crisis in River State. So I felt on my own that imposition of a sole administrator was not necessary. It was not necessary at all. It was not.
Discuss this with anybody who is your superior or any colleague about your decision, because I'm wondering that having to jettison or truncate your own many years of experience or practice must have been a very tough decision to make, isn't it?
Well, but I feel that it is more honorable for me not to dent the little reputation I've built in the judiciary by, having my name on record in future that I was part of those who also, who looked the other way when things went wrong in River State. I would want to make my own position clear just for posterity. So I don't see any honor in me sitting in court and taking instructions from a sole administrator. That would have been the case if there was no elected governor. We had an elected governor. We all, including my humble self, we all went out under the sun, queued up millions of people in River State. In fact, I drove a very long distance to go and vote. Very, very long distance. Only to come back and then, just within an hour, the person is removed and then there's a full administrator. I don't think that is fair to the people of River State, to be very frank. I don't think it's fair.
So let's quickly ask you. The River State Judicial Service Commission said you lied, that you did not resign, that in fact you are due for a compulsory or voluntary retirement.
Well, Shema, I don't know what else you would have expected them to say. I don't know what other response you would have expected from them. That's ordinarily what they will say, because in this case, they have to protect their employer, in which case, which is the sole administrator. They have to protect his interest and protect his so that's basically the most natural answer they will give, or response they will give. I was surprised to hear them say that. But my challenge is for them to publish. They said that there was a case of misconduct. For an establishment of this nature, if you are accused of misconduct, it should be spelled out. Oh, you stole something, or you took bribe, or you did this, or you did that.
Let me ask you. Let's break it down. There are allegations against you. Did you at any point face any panel, any disciplinary panel? Because as constituted, if there is a petition or there is a misconduct, allegations or petition or disciplinary or administrative action against anyone in the bench, there are procedure that it takes, which you understand in your 16 years of being a magistrate. Did you at any point in time face a panel?
Okay, so I wouldn't describe what I faced as a panel. It was not a panel. We not even myself alone. Quite a number of us were summoned at some point at the peak of the crisis. There was a time some months back when the university was in turmoil. Actually, when there was this issue of I don't want to mention names because I don't want to delve into politics. But we all know what happened in Rivers State some months back. So at some point during that crisis, most of us were unable to drive out even of our houses. Most of us were not unable to drive out of our houses at some point. So for that reason, they said they put up a panel to look at those who were reported, who were not reporting to work. I was not indicted in that panel. I was not indicted, and I challenged them to publish the reports of the panel. I was not indicted. I never faced any panel leading to my compulsory retirement, and I don't even think how anybody can, anybody can tell me that after 16 years of service, if you have any, according to their report, that I stayed away from work for some period of time, then you're kicked out, and that is done behind you. Do you shave a man's hair behind, in his absence? I'm not aware. Nobody has sent me any reports.
So let's be specific. Let me ask you just for a moment. Were you out of office? Were you out of work, whether by leave or by for any reason, from the 25th of August till December of 2024?
No.
So you were never. Did you take any leave in 2023?
Yes, of course.
When was your leave of 2023? When did you observe your 2023 leave?
Okay, so the leave was meant to run from 25th of July to 5th of September 2023. Now, that leave was cut short by the chief registrar, who started penalizing me from the 25th of August instead of 5th of September. I was to resume work on the 5th of September officially, but the CR went ahead and began penalizing me from the 25th of August. That's
the disciplinary letter to penalize you. What was the title? What was it about?
Sorry, I didn't get that, please.
The letter sent to you, you said they penalized you. The chief judge was penalizing you. In the letter, the disciplinary letter to penalize you, the official communication to penalize you, what was it about? Was it about you not being in office, or what exactly is it about?
No, sir. Listen, it was in this recent report, the recent report that the CR sent now. This report, the allegations he's making now is what I'm referring to. In his current allegation, he is saying that in 2023, there was no letter given to me. I only read that over the news recently, while this matter was going on, that I was not at work from August 25th. Allowed me to proceed on leave till 5th of September of the same year. And I was not given any notice to come back earlier than the date I was asked to stay away. Nobody told me that, okay, the leave has been cut short, come back now. Nobody told me. But they started taking record.
But are you aware that you were dismissed, or you were taken out of service either voluntarily or through any punitive disciplinary action?
Never. They've never at all. That's not even true.
So what about
I
the
can tell you
letter?
for free.
What about the letter sent to you which took effect that you have been you're disciplined and you are retired from service with effect from 10th of February 2025? Because officially in the records of the River State Judicial Service Commission, you ceased to become a magistrate from the 10th of February 2025.
I'm sorry, but I don't know, the network is
So
not too
the
steady.
question I'm asking you, from the records of the Rivers State and the Rivers Judicial Service Commission, it says that from the 10th of February 2025, you've ceased to become a magistrate and a member of the bench of the Rivers State since that day, 10th of February 2025. Are you aware?
I only heard that on the news 2 days ago from the CL. That's what I'm saying. In response to my own letter. Nobody gave me any letter until I wrote them my retirement letter some days back. Then 2 days ago, I had the CRO on the news saying that I was removed on the 10th of February. I'm not even aware. I only heard it only 2 days ago.
Did you attend to any?
I just said it in the news.
Did you attend to any judicial matter in your own courtroom? When was the last time you were in your chamber as a magistrate?
Okay, so now, you see, because they failed to correct the anomaly that was contained in the leave letter. Don't remember I told you that, don't forget something. I told you that I was asked to proceed on leave from the 25th of July, 2023, to the 5th of September, 2023. Now, that letter was dated 3rd August. A letter that should have benefited me from the 25th of July was kept in somebody's drawer till 3rd of August. I was waiting for them to give me an approval until 3rd of August. Then they gave me that letter on the 4th of August and asked me to proceed on leave retrospectively from 25th of July, thereby narrowing down the number of days I should have enjoyed that leave. And then on the 25th of August, they went to my file and started, ticking me absent instead of waiting till 5th of September when they asked me. So you can see, the jeopardy here.
Officially, you've not been in chamber. You have not been in court. You did not administer.
No. I'm coming, sir. I'm not done, if you allow, if you don't mind. So now, I presented this matter to them, asking them to correct those anomalies. In our profession, that's a very fundamental mistake. And until it is corrected, whatever I'm doing in that judiciary will be off record. Until those anomalies are corrected, if I go to court, I'm sitting off record and I'll be liable for whatever befalls me.
Don't sit in judgment over any matter as a magistrate.
That's what I'm saying. I have to get them to correct those anomalies first. Before, so we have been doing this breakbacks.
Okay, so let me ask you, because
I have also been careful.
As a judicial officer who keeps record, you know the implication of you your record exiting the service not being straight. Either you voluntarily left or you were retired compulsorily. What are you doing anything to correct that? Officially, legally, administratively?
No. Sorry, please repeat that again if you don't mind, please. Sorry.
You, as a judicial officer who spent 16 years in the bench, are you making any effort to administratively or legally or officially correct what has become now an error in your time and serving the state?
This is what I'm saying. So now, I try to get them to correct these mistakes, and the CRO will not budge. Then I decided, so at some point when we were doing that, the news of the appointment of the sole administrator came up. And I felt that there was even no way I could go back, even if I was allowed to, even if I was allowed to go, I would not go back. So at that point, I decided to now throw in the towel because I can't work with the sole administrator. So the issue of voluntary and involuntary retirement, I don't know where it's coming from, because I have a right as a citizen to retire voluntarily if I don't want to work again.
All right. So on the final note, You
and
as
I
a
do not owe
citizen,
anybody an explanation for that.
yeah. You as on a final note, you as a citizen, you've taken a stance. In the eye of the law, you've sat in judgment on the bench over a lot of matter. What do you think is the implication of what is going on in your state, Rivers?
First of all, I had expressed my dissatisfaction with the appointment of a sole administrator who has a lot of military experience. And I stated earlier that there is no way we as adjudicators can work without some element of military bias in the discharge of our duty. Because the civilian and the military man will not think the same way. And I don't think this will favor litigants before us. That's on the part of the judiciary. Now, if you look at the economic effects of this on the, I wish you were in Port Harcourt right now so that you see what's happening. The judiciary itself is put on a standstill. The judiciary itself is on a standstill because the administrator is circumventing the judiciary. He's not even working with the judiciary. I don't know how many meetings he has held with the chief judge since he assumed that office. I don't know how many meetings he has held with our chief judge. So the judiciary is not even functioning effectively. The legislature is not there. Executive is not there. So what manner of state are we running? Okay. Now, the other day I was watching over the TV and I saw a conference that was taking place somewhere in London, organized by the Commonwealth. In that meeting, the agenda was to look for ways of assisting states that will be suffering as a result of the tariffs introduced by President Donald Trump. I saw Governor, His Excellency of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu. I saw His Excellency, the Governor of Abia State, OT. I saw quite a lot of governors there in London. Rivers State was not represented. Rivers State was invited. We had nobody to represent us. And that was a meeting put together by the Commonwealth to see how they can assist states that are suffering economically due to the hardship that's prevailing in the society now. Rivers State was not represented. Just 2 days ago, I was watching on the TV and I saw that the PDP governors met somewhere in Oyo. They met. When PDP governors meet in such occasions, they compare notes. They do peer review.
All right.
Rivers State was absent.
All right.
Now, I'm also aware that there are meetings held in Aso Rock where between the president and the governors. I'm not in politics, I don't know what they call it. So I'm wondering who will represent us in that meeting when it's going to come up next. The meeting that will involve the president.
Yeah. Thank you so much indeed. I appreciate your time tonight.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate it.